Stand by the tracks, sing it in my hand. The city's lights are fading, but I don't understand. This last ride's my escape, but the weight's too much to bear. The train's about to leave, but I don't know if I'm ready to go anywhere. The air is still, the whistle near, but my mind's running wild. It's not just a city, it's a man I've been for miles. I made my choices and I paid the price in full, but running from it now feels like I'm going just a fool. This train's my ticket out, but it won't let me go. No matter how far I run, there's always something unknown. The city's calling and the past close behind, but the man I am, but the man I can't. I thought I could have done it, but to make it right, but the man I've become is still here tonight. I'm on the last ticket, leaving all behind. The city's fading, the ghosts are hard to find. I'm running from the past, but it follows like a shadow, and I don't know if I'm free or just running down the road. I'm on the last ticket, leaving all behind. The city's fading, but the ghosts are hard to find. The train is pulling slow, the night is feeling long. I've come this far, but the past is still too strong. I thought this was my freedom, my last chance to run, but now I see the past is something I can't outrun. The city's gone, but the ghosts are in my veins. I'm running from the memories, but I feel the same. The whistle's loud, but it can drown my mind. I'm running away, but I'm still the same man inside. I'm on the last ticket, leaving all behind. The city's fading, but the ghosts are hard to find. I'm running from the past, but it follows like a shadow, and I don't know if I'm free or just running down the road. Whoa, I'm on the last ticket, leaving all behind. The city's fading, but the ghosts are hard to find. I'm on the last ticket, leaving all behind. Close the door behind you. Let the hallway outside. Pull that metal chair in closer. There are things we don't write. See this scarred up wooden desktop. See these folders cut in line. Every name inside these pages bought their quiet with my time. You walk in with your shoulders wide, talking like you own the night. But the men who really steer it never stand beneath the light. There's a monitor in the corner, showing alley, showing dial. If you listen past the fridge drum, you can hear the ticking clock. I've carried more than rumor in this briefcase by my feet. Keys for rooms that aren't on maps now. Photo no one else should keep. I wipe more than fingerprints from tables after closing time. Watch the water under concrete swallow faces, deeds and rhyme. They don't carve my name on plaques here. They don't toast me at the bar. They just call when something's broken and they need it moved off far. I don't raise my voice or glass much. I don't stand where cameras bite. I just leave a room in order, walk the stairs and fade from sight. You think power's in the shopping and the stories that they sell. Real power's just a man who never has to show his hell. Yeah, men like me move in silence. Let the loud ones twist and fall. We don't beg for any credit. We just answer when they call. Yeah, you keep talking about power. I keep counting what it costs. If you wanna walk like I do, learn the lines you never cross. So see that camera in the corner, throwing gray across the floor. Every frame holds little secrets that don't walk out of this door. There's a single glass half finished on the shelf above my chair. I don't drink to drown the memory, I just leave it waiting there. Out back by the rusted railing, trucks back up without a sound. You can smell the metal cooling when the deals go underground. All the faces blur together once the ledger pages turn. All that lasts is who kept quiet and whose names could not return. You want in on this, you listen. You let other men talk loud. You keep every promise heavy, never traded for a crowd. You don't write down what you're thinking, you let discipline return. You will feel it in your heart. glass from floor to frame, desk in polished dark wood, little plaque without my name, lamp leaning over paper, casting grids of gold and black, pages full of quiet numbers that could break this city's back. There's a chessboard by the window, half a game from yesterday, one king stranded in the center, every pawn in harm's way. Underneath the stack of ledger, columns marching clean and tight, every route, every favor, every shadow in the night. I close the book with both hands, feel the weight inside the spine, slip a thin steel pen in pocket, check the time and sign the line. Keycard kisses elevator, door slide open soft and slow, ceiling flicker in the mirror like a doubt I never show. Lobby guard just nods in silence, knows enough to look away. Glass doors breathe me to the street where all my figures play. Taxis drifting at the corner, late trucks humming down the block, every taillight, every turnout, moving smooth off how I talk. They think I'm just the quiet voice, standing close to every deal, but this city leans on columns that I balance like a wheel. I keep this city in the ledger, in the margins on the glass, every name and every credit, every favor that we pass. Boss men talk about their kingdoms, raise a drink and call it art. I just draw the lines that hold it, put the pulse on every chart. Yeah, the streets all think they're moving on their own and running free, but this city's in the ledger, in the ledgers held by me. Walk the overpass above it, watch the traffic weave and bend, headlights tracing out the patterns I've been drawing end to end. There's a warm gray briefcase swinging from my fingers by my side, same old skulls from different nights when I came here just to ride. Down below, two corners argue, someone points and someone pays. I can't read the size of trouble by the way they hold their gaze. I could make a single phone call, let that tension
Motel key on the table, plastic tag, crooked knife. Static from the old box TV, I killed the sound and the sign. Suitcase by the door, like it's listening for my shoes. Map spread over thin brown sheets, marked up with leaving rules. Pen bleeding on a napkin from a diner down the road. Your name written in the corner where the coffee circle shows. I start the words I'm sorry, then I cross them out again. 'Cause sorry sounds too simple for the life beneath my skin. I still see your small kitchen, single bulb above the sink. You were barefoot on the tile floor while I tried not to think. And up on the counter from a man who never calls unless something needs to happen and it can't touch his white walls. I kissed your neck and lights off, said I'd be back before the dawn. You poured tea into that chip mug like nothing could go wrong. But the streets were already watching, and they don't forget a face. So I carried what I carried, and I never set the place. You deserve a doorbell, not a knock that comes too late. You deserve a gentle story, not the things that write my fate. The highway knows my name, but it don't ask what I've done. Headlights running in the distance like a choir with no tongue. I'm moving quiet lanes like I'm a shadow from the sun. The highway knows my name, but it don't ask what I've done. Gas pump clicking at the station where the road bends out of sight. Neon humming in the window of a diner open all night. Coffee tastes like old decisions, bitter keeping me awake. Voices drifting from the counter about time and about weight. I could turn this car around, take that exit back to you. Watch a curtain lift a little when the headlights cut right through. But the life that rides beside me doesn't fit inside your door. So I pay and tip in silence, and I pawn it north once more. I ain't asking you to wait or to carry down my name. I'm no savior in a suit, just a man who walked this game. I made promises to people that I never let you see. Now the cleanest thing I've done is keep that trouble off your street. The highway knows my name, but it don't ask what I've done. Headlights running in the distance like a choir with no tongue. Every mile I lay between us says a battle never won. The highway knows my name, but it don't ask what I've done. Remembers how I drive. If you hear about a stranger, just believe you're still alive. Walk with someone who can tell you where he's going when he runs. The highway knows my name, but it don't ask what I've done.
gas machine, coughing down the hall outside my door. TV's talking to itself, sound turned low down on the floor. The takeout box half open, the dresser by the sink. Your name lit on my phone screen, but I won't let my fingers sing. Suitcase sitting by the curtain, zipper halfway, nothing grand, just a shirt, a worn-out jacket, and a life I keep off hand. Key card on the nightstand, plastic number, nameless town. I leave every room in order when it's time to lay one down. You always liked the way I walked in, never raised my voice too high. Said I carried quiet where they never needed to explain why. You don't see the doors I opened or the ones I sealed at night. How I kept my boots out front so the trouble stayed outside your life. There's a folder in my duffel, just a name and 2 cold dates. Men who talk like they're the storm, but still knock at my gates. When they call, I cross a border, do a job, then disappear. You're the one clean little corner in a crooked atmosphere. I could turn this car around, park it back along your street, let you lean into my shoulder, let your heartbeat set my beat. But this map is inked in shadows, and the arrows all point down. If I stay, they'll drag you with me when they come to shake this town. So I leave the key on the counter, lights off, curtains down, walk out like a gentleman before the bad news crowns. I move like a rumor on a long black stretch of ground. If I love you, I'll leave you before this life drags you down. Yeah, I'm gone before they're knocking, no witness, not a sound. That's the way a man like me says goodbye without a sound. Gas station on the corner, buzzing sign in faded red. Paper cup, a bit of coffee, highway humming in my head. Trucks breathe heavy at the stoplight, then they roll back into gear. Every tail light in the distance feels like some old ghost I steer. There's a photograph I folded, tucked inside the visor flap. You're half laughing in a doorway, sunlight's tracing out your map. I could pin that to the dashboard, chase that kind of steady glow. But the men I left unfinished don't forgive what they don't know. I ain't some shining hero with a badge or silver star. I'm the name they don't remember, just the weight behind the scar. My rule is simple, not romantic. Pay your bill, then cut the chain. Leave the room the way you found it, never point at where you came. If my shadow ever finds you on some quiet evening's edge, know I'll vanish just to keep you, not to break another pledge. So I leave the key on the counter, bed made, TV cold, walk past that humming icebox like a story never told. I roll like a whisper down that endless 2-lane brown. If I love you, I leave you, that's the way I hold this crown. Yeah, I fade in your rearview mirror, shrinking with each mile of ground. That's the way a man like me keeps you safe without a sound. without a sound. Leave without a sound. You're pitching by my head. I'll get a marble in the drawer. He's still swinging in the line. Falling paper on my knee. Ink marks bleeding through the page. Television with no sound. Faces flicker in a cage. Boots lying waiting by the door. Laces loose and pointing knees. Coffee cooling on the nightstand, like a promise I won't keep. You always like my straight lines. Shirt press collar never bent. Said I walk like quiet thunder. Never wasted what I spent. You could read between my handshakes. Saw the shadows in my tree. Held your breath through hallway whispers. Love the man, not what he made. But this town is just a mirror of the deals I've done before. Names get floated in the diner, slide like smoke beneath your door. Every favor that I cash in writes a mark beside your name. I can't hold you like I want to and still play this careful game. So I'm folding up the story that you never need to see. There's a price for moving silent, and tonight it's you and me. I leave without a sound. No slam doors, no screaming round. Just a key on the table and my boots on the ground. I don't run, I don't break down when the pressure shakes this town. Like a gentleman with trouble on his back, I leave without a sound. Last week at the roadside station, saw a sedan I know too well. Men who never sip their coffee unless there's a line to sell. They were asking for descriptions of a woman at my side. That's the night I knew this highway was the only place to hide. So I paid the check in cash, nodded once and drove you home. Watched you laughing in the porch light, like you never have to roam. Locked the door behind your footsteps, said I'd be back here by 10. Then I counted out my choices, and I didn't like them then. If you wake and see the sunlight on a room that feels too wide, maybe find a steady stranger who can stand there by your side. Someone who can leave his briefcase open, waiting on the floor, never measuring each favor like a quiet private war. I leave without a sound, no goodbye to drag you down. Just a name on the register that won't come back around. I don't run, I don't break down when the heat rolls through this town. Like a gentleman who knows when to step off the battleground. I turn the handle, close it soft, and leave without a sound. watching it fade. A part of me stays, but the rest of me's afraid. The city's lights go distant, a blur in the night. I made my choice, but I'm still fighting the fight. I can feel the weight of every road I've walked, the faces I've known, the promises I've blocked. But tonight it's over, the tide's finally cut. I'm riding this train, there's no turning back. No would it, no would it. One last ride and I'm gone. The city's grip is slipping, but it's hard to move on. I've lived in shadows, now I'm stepping into light. But it's colder out here in the dead of the night. One last ride and I'm gone. There's no looking back, no more holding on. I've seen too much, but it's all I've ever known. Now I'm gone on this train, headed alone. I've been a ghost here, unseen but alive, chasing something bigger, just trying to survive. The streets that raise me now feel like a grave, but I'm walking away, I'm no longer a slave. The city's still calling, but I don't look back. I left all I could, but it's still on the track. Maybe I'll find peace, or maybe I'll fall, but I'm done with the game, I've lost it all. One last ride, and I'm gone. The city's grip is slipping, but it's hard to move on. I've lived in shadows, now I'm stepping into light. But it's colder out here in the dead of the night. One last ride and I'm gone. There's no looking back, no more holding on. I've seen too much, but it's all I've ever known. Now I'm gone on this train, headed alone. Face, but the past won't let go. It's a cold ride ahead, but I'm ready to know what lies beyond the end of this track. The city's behind me, but there's no turning back. One last ride and I'm gone. There's no looking back, no more holding on. I've seen too much, but it's all I've ever known. Now I'm gone on this train, headed alone. fluorescent flicker in the bathroom, and walls humming with the ice. Cracked glass over the dresser, TV rolling some cheap fight. Motel Bible on the nightstand, corners curve from other hands. Room key on a paper coaster, duffel bag and rubber bands. I got your picture by the lamp, babe, folded edges soft and warm. Highway humming through the curtains like a low and distant storm. Pen pressed hard against this notepad, ink that nose is wearing thin. Every word I lay down trembling is a door I'm closing in. About leaving all these back roads, buying you a safer door. But the last run bent off center, someone talked who shouldn't talk. Now there's eyes along this highway every time I take a walk. I've been paid in bills and silence, paid in favors, paid in fear. I've been trading dawns and dinners for a name they'd never hear. If I stay there drifting closer, they will learn the way you smile. So I'm packing up this shadow, taking it another mile. I could lie and say I'll call you, say I'll fix it in a week. But a man who lives in crosshairs doesn't pull you in that deep. So I leave a motel key on the table by the lamp, where the truth can't hide. I move quiet down the stairs, every step a chosen move. I don't speak my goodbyes out loud, I just vanish from the room. Yeah, a motel key and alibis is the last of what I owe your eyes. You can blame it on the road, blame it on the way I move, but I'm keeping you untouched by the things I have to do. Out the window there's a gas sign, numbers glowing faint and weak. Then humming by the office, coughing corns a tired squeak. Coffee steaming in a styrofoam map unfolded on the bed. Headlights slide across the ceiling like they're searching for my head. I can see you in that kitchen, morning light across your head. You reach out and find my side cold and there's a letter waiting there. Maybe someday you'll forgive me, maybe someday you'll get mad. Either way, at least my trouble never touched the life you had. I was never built for gardens, never meant for quiet streets. I was raised on parking lot deals, on unlocked passenger seats. Every promise that I made you had a back door in it seemed. I can love you from a distance, but I can't stay in your dreams. So I leave a motel key and alibi, let the hallway swallow all my time. I move gentle past the ice machine, no footprint in the gloom. I don't drag the things I love through the center of the room. Yeah, a motel key and alibis is the last way that I draw the line. You can curse my name tonight, say I broke the best of you, but I'm keeping you untouched by the things I have to do. Motel key and alibis, as the taillights fade from sight, I'll be just another shadow on a long and living night. The song is a calm but menacing warning from a gentleman, a businessman in the gray zone to a yacht. Creasing in the discipline, quiet and cold. And watch you trying to pump your chest. About calling out your rivals, making everybody know your name. But a carpet underfoot remembers men who shouted here before. Now the badges are deleted and the key cards touch the floor. I've signed papers in this corner while the hallway lights went red. I've watched partners turn to problems when they let it hit their head. I pour coffee over ledgers, burned a contract in this glow. And I learned the real decision, never have to tell you so. You think power's in the echo when the glass comes down too hard. But the men who walk out breathing rarely ever drop their guard. In this quiet room, the code is all you own. You don't have to shout to move a city made of stone. You keep your voice low, let the numbers speak your name. Let the elevator doors, not the gossip, feed your fame. Yeah, this quiet room, that's where real thunder lives. You move in silence, count the cost of what you give. If you wanna walk like a legend on this road, you learn to live and die by the quiet room code. There's a phone face down between us, little light that loves to bleed. One wrong message at the wrong time cuts you deeper while you feed. There's a ledger by your elbow with a column marked regret. Every promise that you purchased writes a line you can't forget. I've turned people into shadows with a sentence with a call. But I never broke my own rules just to watch somebody fall. I'll protect the ones who trust me even when they never see. And the price of that protection is it all falls back on me. I don't gamble with my temper, I don't play with open cards. I don't joke about the damage when it lands in someone's yard. When I walk into a building, all the cameras know my face. But they watch me leave in silence, never running from the place. In this quiet room, the code is what remains. When the contracts turn to ashes and the rumors turn to stains, you keep and white wall, hotel key on the table, number stamped and nothing more. Suitcase by the door, with a shirt and a pair of boots. My jacket on the chair still smells like long nights and old roots. There's a notepad by the phone, page turned, pen laid straight. I start to write your name once, then just stare and hesitate. I could tell you where I'm headed, I could say I'll call you soon. But men like me don't leave maps, we just slip out of the room. I walk down that narrow hallway, vending machine humming glow. Ice bucket on a trolley, faded carpet wearing low. Step outside to the parking lot, feel the gravel under feet. My car waits by the far fence line, like a shadow off the street. I ride to the all-night diner, chrome and glass and empty chair. Coffee in a chip white cup, quiet records, thin night air. Your voice lives in a payphone, I've been training not to die. I fold a napkin in my fingers like a letter on the pile. You wanted doors with deadbolts, curtains thick against the night. I was born for open highways, dashboard gauges burning light. On the silent exit lane, I'm the man who doesn't turn. I keep my name off every story, leave my weight in what you learn. You can love me in your memory, not the way I move and stay. On the silent exit lane, I let the taillights fade away. Station on the outskirts, single pump and humming sign. Attendant nods and checks the meter while I watch the dotted line. On the hood a folded jacket, on the seat a worn out file. Every page a quiet reason why I can't stay one more mile. I see your face in the rear view, laid across those distant lights. All the promises I almost spoke, riding shotgun through my nights. I grip the wheel a little harder, keep my eyes on what's ahead. Talk to you inside my chest instead of pages never read. If I ever turn around, it won't be for fear or need. It'll be because I've buried every trace of what I bleed. Till that day moving, low and steady, mile by mile. You deserve more than a drifter with a coat and borrowed smile. On the silent exit lane, I'm the man who doesn't turn. I keep my name off every story, leave my weight in what you've learned. You can love me in your memory, not the way I move and stay. On the silent exit lane, I let the taillights fade away. On the silent exit lane, where the loud ones lose their nerve, I disappear between the markers with the only law I serve. You can hold me in a question, not in where I sleep today. On the silent exit lane, I drive my ghost the other way. Backroom table, single bowl, buzzing low. Ledger where the corners been, from every debt I know. Doors got two deadbolts, and a chain that never shines. We count quiet money while the front pours out its wine. Cufflinks on my wrist, catch a dust in yellow light. Jacket on the chair back, tie loosened for the night. You ask who I am, I say I'm nothing on the wall, just a man they send to shake the hand behind it all. There was a kid I called my brother, ran the streets with me, shared the same cheap sandwich, same crooked balcony. He liked to joke too loud, never learned to guard his tongue. Smiled at one wrong question when the older men were young. I held a door one evening while they had a quiet talk. He stepped out a different man, and then he didn't walk. Paper in my pocket, showed a corner where to stand. I signed it in a steady line with a very steady hand. You see a calm reflection in the glass behind the bar, but that silver service hides how thin these favors are. I'm not the name engraved in gold upon the heavy door. I'm just a line across when it can't be seen no more. I'm the right hand in the dark, not the crown upon the chair. I'm the quiet knock at midnight when they're praying no one's there. I'm the shadow in the doorway when the talking goes too far. I'm the hand that never trembles while I cover up their scars. I'm the right hand in the dark, keeping every circle tight, so the kings can drink and comfort while I balance out the night. Briefcase by my ankle, like a dog that learned to wait. Keys laid in a straight line, smallest one decides the fate. Clock above the doorway has no numbers, just a sweep. Second hand keeps circling like a secret we can't keep. Sometimes in the hallway I can hear my brother laugh, echo off the concrete like a torn up photograph. I straighten every picture that leans sideways on the wall. If I let one stay crooked, I might let myself grow small. When I close my eyes, I see a table just like this, only there's no door, no exit, just the faces that I miss. Every quiet job I carried, every promise that I sold, takes an empty chair beside me while my coffee's getting cold. If I ever drop this posture, if I ever crack the glass, I'd have to stand here honest with the questions no one asks. I'm the right hand in the dark, not the story that you read. I'm the ink beneath the signature that makes the thing proceed. I'm the coat left on the hook when others vanish from the scene. I'm the one who wipes the table till the surface looks clean. I'm the right hand in the dark, moving slowly.
across the ground, so the ones who wear the legend never feel it shake or sound.
Motel came on velvet road, number stamped in fading blue. Suitcase leaning by the door, like it's more ready than I am to move. Gas station sign through the curtain, rose it's red and muddy pale. This room feels like a holding cell, with floral bed sheets for travail. I've been running quiet highways where the names don't stick too long. Paying cash and keeping headlight low, leaving towns before the dawn. Every favor has a ledger, every call comes with a cost. Every mile I put behind me is another line of yours I lost. You keep on riding in my rearview glass like a song I never played. Every time I touch this pen, I hear the life we never made. This road was never made for two. It keeps a man like me in motion and away from you. I'm the shadow in the window, not the light in your room. I'm the engine in the distance, not the flowers that bloom. This road was never made for two. If I let you in beside me, it would take you to. So I'll trace your name in silence where the taillights fade from view. 'Cause this road was never made for two. Your picture's folded in my wallet, it's just saw from too much time. You're standing in that doorway with a porch light as your sign. I could turn this car around, I could risk that front step too. But the man who's sitting diner, watch the doors I'm walking through. There's a coffee cup gone cold beside this half-filled page. Neon buzz along the wall marks the edge of my mistakes.
the sky turns that pale silver and the trucks begin to roll, I'll slide this letter in the drawer and let the highway take control. 'Cause this road was never made for two. It keeps its chosen few all distant and untrue. I'm the hum beneath your window when you think the night is still. I'm the name you never speak out loud, but you might remember still. This road was never made for two, so I keep my hands like stone and my distance from you. If you ever hear an engine where the dark runs straight and clean, know this road kept me far from what we might have been, might have been. This road kept me far from what we might have been. City's a blur behind the glass. Trains moving, but I can't outrun my past. Suitcase by my side, but it's the weight inside that's always with me, no matter how hard I try. Lights fade out, I'm heading south. No more deals, no more quiet mouth. One last favor, one last game. Now I'm gone, but I'm still the same. I thought I'd find a place to hide, but it's too late to break the ties. The track is long, but I'll never be free. I can't outrun what I chose to be. I'm on a midnight train, but I'm not getting far. I thought I'd leave it all behind me, but I can still feel the scars. I'm on a midnight train to nowhere, headed out into the black. But no matter where this train takes me, I can never find my way back. Shadow in the rear view. I'm the ghost I thought I'd outlive too. I used to own these streets, these lights. Now I'm just a man who lost the fight. I buried my heart in contracts and lies, but it's the truth still haunts my eyes. I thought I'd kill the ghost, kill the man, but he's still breathing and I can't stand. The further I go, the more I know there's no escape from the life I sold. The track is long, but I'm still the same. I can't outrun the weight of the name. I'm on a midnight train, nowhere. I'm running, but
but it's too late. Too many doors I've closed, too many hands I've played. I can feel the weight, I can feel the cost, but I made my choice, and now I'm lost. I'm on a midnight train to nowhere. I'm running but I'm not getting far. I thought I'd leave it all behind me, but I can still feel the scars. I'm on a midnight train to nowhere, headed out into the black. But no matter where this train takes me, I can never find my way back. Phone buzzed on the counter, number with no saved name. Half past something ugly, always sounds the same. Heavy voice said we need you down below the northern ramp, then hung up on the silence, left the kitchen cold and damp. Now my boots hit painted arrows, level 3 and muted light. Fluorescents buzz like hornets in a cage above the night. Oil stains on the concrete, echo from a swinging gate. I don't ask too many questions, I just show up when it's late. You're leaning on a pillar, jacket open, hands too still. Eyes like you've been staring at the edge of your own will. We usually splits more money, joke about the bigger game. Now you're here with shaking fingers and a story full of blame. You say I lost my temper, pushed the wrong man way too far. He's downstairs in the stairwell, I don't know where we are. See your knuckles blooming red, see a smear across your sleeve, and all the rules we carved in stone start slipping as you breathe. I was always good at cleaning, gloves on, wiping little things, but it's different when the trouble wears your face and shares your sin. I'm the quiet end of things, when the talking's done, when the last loose thread is dangling and there's nowhere left to run. They don't call me for the glory, they just call me when it stings. I'm the steady hand on metal, I'm the quiet end of things. Yeah, I walk between the echoes where the metal stairwell rings. If my name is in the hallway, it's the quiet end of things. We walk down to the landing, every step a hollow hymn. Door half cracked on the problem, stairlight flickering dim. There's a briefcase on the railing, there's a phone in settled dust. There's a jacket on the floor, like someone dropped a little trust. I don't ask you for the story, I can hear it in your breath, in the way you don't look downward, in the way you smell of stress. I straighten up the picture, fix the angles, close the seams, make sure nothing points to you more than the nightgown. hold between. There's a ledger in my head of all the ghosts I never name. Every favor, every secret, every half-disguised shame. I was proud to be the shadow that could keep your record straight. Now I'm standing in a stairwell trying to edit out your fate. If I walk away, it's over. If I speak, you're out of time. If I bend the world around you, we both carry one more crime. No orchestra is rising, there's no choir when it stings. Just my heartbeat on the concrete and the quiet end of things. I'm the quiet end of things, where the hard calls live, where the city writes in margins what it's not allowed to give. They don't put me in the stories, they just send me when it stings. I'm the last man in the shadow, I'm the quiet end of things. Yeah, I move between the sirens and whatever morning brings. If you feel me in your footsteps, it's the quiet end of things. Leather chair by the window, this whole city down below. There's a rat burning in a circle, your white shirt clean. Safe door closed behind the panel, little green light on the wall. There's a folder on the table with your first job on the call. I've been adding up the numbers since before you knew the game. Moving pieces on the boards so someone else can take the fame. Every handshake has a balance, every smile has a side. I keep legends in my head for who can stay and who must hide. You see the car and the cufflinks, think the story ends right there, but you don't see the hallway when the cameras start to stare. I'm the right hand in the dark that keeps your white shirt clean. I'm the quiet calculation living in the space between. I'm the voice behind the curtain, choosing who walks in the room. I'm the shadow in the corner when the deals begin to bloom. Yeah, I'm the right hand in the dark behind your shining seam. Every step that makes you king runs through my hands unseen. You've been leaning in the doorway, watching doors that others pass. Fingers drumming on the frame, like you're ready for the glass. You want keys and you want passwords. signed a paper with my left hand, left a gold ring in the drawer. I'm the right hand in the dark that keeps your white shirt clean. I'm the line that doesn't tremble when the space between turns me. I'm the chair beside the window when they ask what must be done. I'm the one who names the outcome long before they call it one. So when you chase that polished desk and all that power that you've seen, know the right hand in the dark will keep your white shirt clean. But you won't sleep like you used to once you're standing where I've been. 'Cause every quiet man like me carries what you never see within. Close the door and goodbye, and that last one fade away. You can hear the fridge and you and the bottle wine about price. Joining the inner circle, teaching him the backroom code. Dun. When that moment came to pass, you don't see me in the mirror when you check your tie and hair, but my shadow's on your footstep every time you climb the stair. I don't need my name in stories carved in tabletops and smoke. I keep scoring hidden ledges, I keep truth in what I spoke. You can be the voice that trembles or the calm behind the deal. You can chase the noisy legend or learn how real power feels. I'm the quiet right hand in the back room where the real decision load. There's a backroom. There's a backroom code. Leave the shouting to the dreamers, leave the bragging to the crowd. If you walk behind this curtain, you don't get to talk out loud. See this chessboard on the counter, half the pieces put away. Every move you make in here rewrites a game they'll never play. I've turned keys and locked in favors, slid envelopes across this wood, laid a pistol on this table just to show I understood. I folded letters I don't send, burned the edges in that tray, watched a grown man sign his silence, stand up straight and walk away. Every knock along that hallway is a choice and not a show. Either you protect the circle or you're first one told to go. On the other side of midnight, when the laughter's running thin, all that's left is what you promised and the weight you're walking in. You can count your worth in volume or in what you choose to hold. Strong men carry quiet burdens, that's the heart of backroom code, of the backroom code. Of the backroom code. I'm the quiet right hand in the back room where the real decisions low, where the glass is sweat in silence and the secrets never show. Out there they can toast their legends, they can shout and pound the oak. Real men live by what they carry, not by every word they spoke. So decide before you enter what you're ready to uphold. Real men move in silence, that's the backroom code. There's a backroom code. There's a backroom. There's a backroom code.
You're standing in my doorway, kid, coat still wet from this night air. Hallway cameras got your picture, but it's only me and you in here. On the desk a leather ledger, spine worn down from all these years. One glass sweating on a coaster, one pen lying by my chair. You keep staring at the window like you think you see the throne, but I'm the shadow in the glasswork, I'm the thread that holds it sewn. Names and numbers on these pages, all the things you think you crave. Every figure has a heartbeat, every margin hides a grave. Tap the pen against the column where we mark what's in and out. Paper shows the final balance,
never shows a creeping doubt. There's a drawer that stays half open with a file that has no name. That's the difference, kid, between a legend and a man who lost the game. You ask how a quiet bookkeeper ends up feet across this town. It ain't just what I've added, it's the lines I've shut down. Every favor I've erased here, every debt I let go cold, left a story with no ending, and a man who never told. You think power's in the contract, in the signature and seal, in the envelope that changes hands and tells you what is real. But the part that keeps you breathing when the room begins to drown lives in silence, lives in choices, lives in what I don't write down. I'm the hand behind the number when the boss man make the rounds. I can move a lot with ink strokes, I can lift or drag you down. You can hold this leather ledger, kid, but you don't own this town. 'Cause the real rules live in quiet and what I don't write down. Yeah, they toast the man in spotlight while I barely make a sound. But the kingdom keeps its heartbeat and what I don't write down. Was a brother owed a favor, had a file thick as your arm. I could have signed his final total, let the sum do all the harm. Instead I left his page unfinished, let his column fade to gray. Now he runs a small back office, and he runs when I pass by his way. Then there's one who crossed the table, tried to buy a second sight, thought his name was laid in concrete, thought the storm would let him ride. I just shifted 3 small digits, moved a shipment off the grid. When they came to settle questions, no one spoke of what he did. You see power in the cufflink and the chair behind the door. I see men who want them shaking, asking me to change the score. Every time I spare a sentence, every time I burn a page, I add one more restless evening to this quiet little cage. So don't chase the shine they offer, chase the code that keeps you home. Learn the weight of what you're hiding, for it hollows out your soul. I'm the hand behind the number when the bright lights start to fade. I can turn a storm to drizzle with a single mark I made. You can study every entry, think you've got this empire down, but the future of your heart beats in what I don't write down. Yeah, if you ever sit here someday wearing this accountant's crown, you feel every ghost behind you and what you don't write down. these streets alone at night, shadows creeping out of sight. The city hums, but it feels so cold. I've made my bed, but I'm getting old. I've been running this game for too long, but the silence tells me something's wrong. My steps are heavy, but my mind's a blur. Is the past behind me, or coming for sure? I've been in the shadows for too long, but the weight of the world feels too strong. I've played the game, but I can't pretend the life I've built might be my end. The shadows are closing in on me. I've been living in them, but I can't be free. I've made my choices, now I face the cause. In these shadows, I'm already lost. The night is thick and the air so still. I feel their eyes, but I won't stand still. I've taken my chance to roll the dice, but every step feels like another prize. The streets are cold, but I'm colder still. I've been chasing this life, but I'm standing still. I thought I was sharp, thought I could run, but now I know the damage is done. I've been in the shadows for too long, but the weight of the world feels too strong. I've played the game, but I can't pretend the life I've built might be my end. The shadows are closing in on me. I've been living in them, but I can't be free. I've made my choices, now I face the cause. In these shadows, I'm already lost. The city hums, I hear the call, but the deeper I go, the harder I fall. Is it too late to turn and run, or have I already lost what I want? The shadows are closing in on me. I've been living in them, but I can't be free. I've made my choices, now I face the cause. In these shadows, I'm already lost. No turning back, no more games to play. In these shadows, I'll fade away. hotel key model, number stamped in 18 lit and low. The key leaning by the door, like it's more ready than I am to move. Gas station, sign through the curtain, roses red and muddy pale. This room feels like a holding cell with floral bed sheets for a veil. I've been running quiet highway where the names don't stick too long, paying cash and keeping needling that low, leaving towns with no the dawn. Every favor has a legend, every call comes with a cost. Every mile I put behind me is another line of yours I lost. You keep riding in my rearview glass like a song I never played. And every time I touch this pen, I hear the life we never made. This road was never made for two. It keeps a man like me in motion and away from you. I'm the shadow in the window, not the light in your room. I'm the engine in the distance, not the flowers that bloom. This road was never made for two. If I let you in beside me, it would take you too. So I'll trace your name in silence where the taillights fade from view. 'Cause this road was never made for two. Your pictures folded in my wallet, edges soft from too much time. You're standing in that doorway with a porch light as your sign. I could turn this car around, I could risk that front step too. But the man who's sitting diners watch the doors I'm walking through. There's a coffee cup gone cold beside this half-filled page. Neon buzz along the wall marks the edge of my mistakes. When the sky turns that pale silver and the trucks begin to roll, I'll slide this letter in the drawer and let the highway take control. 'Cause this road was never made for two. It keeps its chosen few all distant and untrue. I'm the hum beneath your window when you think the night is still. I'm the name you never speak out loud, but you might remember still. Yeah, this road was never made for two. So I keep my hands like stone and my distance from you. If you ever hear an engine where the dark runs straight and clean, oh, this road kept me far from what we might have been on this road. Glass walls looking over streets that barely move.
Dex lamp halo on a ledger I just proved. Fountain pen asleep beside a band of rubber bands. Calculator dark now, paper tape curl like tired hands. Blinds have closed, city blinking through the slabs. Jacket on the back of that old leather chair like a ghost that never laughs. I close a book and snap the latches on my midnight color case. Kill the light and watch our little kingdom vanish from this place. I was just another number man with ink stains on my cuff, counting freight and petty cash, saying when the pie was enough. Then they saw I knew the pattern of the money when it bled, how to move it like a river without showing where it fed. Every brought me to the tower, gave me keys without a name, show me which lines get reported, which ones disappear in flame. Now I sign the quiet figures that make loud men feel like gods, while I walk through empty hallways, memorizing every fraud. You can hold an empire in a briefcase by the handle. Every life behind these numbers is a line I choose to cancel. I'm the one who keeps a ledger in the dark, where the rulers look like gentlemen on the charts. I make thunder sound like numbers on a page, and every night I balance out the wage. I'm the one who keeps a ledger in the dark, turn your sins into a signature and mark. You see power when you look up at the lights. I see everything as plus and minus signs at night. Elevator doors slide open like a silent little grin. Floors tick by in glowing numbers, counting down the ways we win. In the lobby there's a chessboard with a king piece set aside. I run my fingers down the firewall where a ghost go to hide down in the concrete hollow of the underground garage. My footsteps echo off the pillars and the steel and painted cars. Briefcase riding shotgun, engine humming soft and low. My hand draws slow, small circles like the ones that never show. Some nights I see the city not as windows, but as sums every window is an entry and a consequence that comes when you know his quiet ledger holds a pulse beneath the street. You learn power isn't shouting, it's the calm of steady feet. I'm the one who keeps the ledger in the dark, where the rulers look like gentlemen on the charts. I'll make thunder sound like numbers on a page, then lie awake and tally up the wage. I'm the one who keeps the ledger in the dark, turn your sins into a signature and mark. You see towers, crowns, and stories in the light. I see everything as plus and minus signs at night.
concrete overhead. Old bridge pillar leaning like they've heard too much said. Neon from a tired little diner shakes along the stream. You're there in that cheap black jacket, trying not to break the scene. Hand your paper cup of coffee, heat between our hands. Folded note inside your pocket with a name and quiet plans. Boots crush gravel as I circle, keeping my shoulder on the wall. I say, if you wanna walk this road, you better learn to walk small. I started with deliveries in a second-hand car, sleeping by the pumps behind a 24-hour bar. Kept my mouth shut while the louder boys were begging to be seen. They were fast and always burning our shadow in between. I learned which doors to knock on, which ones you just drive past. How to carry other people's trouble, never let the noise outlast. By the time they knew my face, it was already too late. I was the calm inside the chaos, I was quiet on the gate. You think power is a look and a little extra stride. It's the things you never say and the nights you let slide by. This is the quiet man's code, it never speaks your name. You move in silence, take the weight and never share the blame. You keep your hands real steady, keep your word like stone. You walk like a real man, but you walk this road alone. This is a quiet man's code, it's iron in your veins. You look like you're in control while you're carrying their chains. If you still wanna move in silence like the stories that you heard, you better count what you will lose for every unsaid word. There's a car up on the service road with the engine running warm. Glove box throws a crooked shadow in the dash light like a storm. Motel key up on a ring with its number worn away. You can take that turn tonight or you can let it drift away. I tell you, fold that note up twice if you're ready for this life, or tear it clean in two and go back to your quiet nights. You stare up at the highway signs like they might spell out your fate, and I watch you like I'm looking at myself at 28 and 1. Now you catch your own reflection in a window after dark. Wonder when your easy grin turn into just a straight unreadable mark. You'll hear footsteps in a hallway and not know if they're your ghost. Every favor, every secret, all the things you never spoke. This is the quiet man's code, it never speaks your name. You move in silence, take the weight and never share the blame. You keep your hands real steady, keep your word like stone. You walk like a real man, but you walk this road alone. This is the quiet man's code, it's iron in your veins. You look like you're in control while you're carrying their chains. If you still wanna move in silence through this city made of lies, you better know the price you pay for what you hide behind your words.